Hello everyone, this is going to be a very short video, but I felt like the topic of KSI and surrounding the controversy that's happened in the last few weeks was really interesting and really something that I wanted to look further into. And it's been all over social media. If anyone's been paying attention lately, you'll be aware about the controversy with KSI using a racial slur during a Sidemen's video.
Look, we need points in it, all right? I don't mean this maliciously, but the word. I'm sorry. Look, we need points. I don't. Guys, come on.
And to his defense, he dealt with it in a way that you would want a celebrity or a social media influencer to deal with a controversy where they're undoubtedly at fault. He took accountability and took some time off to educate himself. And although we can't really be sure how genuine that is, he was textbook in doing what any good PR team would advise someone in his position to do. However, it's not the first time KSI has been racially controversial on YouTube. I mean, his success on the platform was built off making fun and perpetuating stereotypes of his own race to pander to his white audience.
If you are a white person and you support somebody that their whole community has abandoned, that is the biggest telltale sign that that person is fucked. KSI brought himself up from doing those very, very, very damaging stereotypical black impressions. He was the one that was doing Watermelonisha. He was the one doing the click click clacking for African accents. That's what he basically put his whole culture on the line.
A little bit of a tap dancer here.
Yeah, honestly, to appease white audiences. And that's what came up. So then white people looked at his content and was like, oh, I can laugh at this because a black person is doing it and has co-signed it. Yeah. That's what you brought yourself up on.
So to some people, this may be a surprise, but to the black community, it was merely inevitable. Something that never fails to happen when someone in the public eye has done something problematic is that their fans will always come to their defense and attempt to underplay their actions. And KSI's fans are no different, and surprise to no one, the majority of those fans are white. You had people either saying the P word isn't offensive, Asian people are being sensitive, or that he didn't say it maliciously, as though that takes away the impact of someone using a racial slur about a community that they're not part of. So let's see how offensive the P word, that according to the Cambridge Dictionary is defined as an extremely offensive word for a person who comes from Pakistan or whose family comes from Pakistan. The P word was first used in the 1960s during a period of increased South Asian immigration to the UK. Although outside of the UK the word can be used as an abbreviation for Pakistan, in the UK, it was used as a slur that wasn't just directly towards Pakistanis, but also towards people of other South Asian background, for example, Bengalis and Indians. I think the fact that a member of the Sidemen, Vic Star, is South Asian himself and was part of the people laughing instead of correcting his friend made it a bigger sting to a lot of South Asians, and rightfully he faced some backlash for that. The anti-immigrant sentiment in Britain led to attacks known as P-bashing, targeted against South Asians and businesses owned by them. These attacks were usually supporters of far-right fascist, anti-immigrant movements and the general racist you could expect to run into in 1960s or 1980s Britain, which is probably 90% of the people. The police proved to be just as useless back then as they do now, because not only did they not take these racial attacks seriously, they actually participated by harassing and violently attacking South Asian people as well. The Joint Campaign Against Racism Committee reported more than 20,000 racist attacks on British people of colour, including Britons of South Asian origins, during 1985. So we can say that using the P word parallels using other racial slurs such as the N word. So as someone who isn't South Asian, but is from a community that has similar experiences to the South Asian experience, it's so insulting and disrespectful when people try to invalidate your experience, the experience of your community, and for some, the experiences of their family members, because the 1960s really wasn't that long ago. Some of our parents and grandparents were probably alive during this time and have first-hand experiences to the violence of the time. And as I say this, the violence of this word didn't start and end in the 20th century. It's a word that, as a British person, I grew up hearing, and for a long time when I was a kid, I didn't know or understand the history and the ramification of the word. There are people of South Asian descent whose only experience with that word is racially motivated, and not, as some people like to say, non-malicious. So regardless of what his intention was, I don't see it as anyone's place to invalidate the way someone else feels about a word that has such a negative impact to themselves and their community. What feels more icky about the video is considering all the people in that room that thought what he said was alright, people laughing as though a legitimate joke had been made, the people who edited the video, and I've probably watched it countless times and thought it was so funny it's had to remain in the video. I guess it just showcases how normalized certain types of racism is, and also the culture behind the set, because if they all felt comfortable laughing that hard about a racial slur on camera, knowing millions of people will be watching them, I don't even want to imagine behind the scenes. The most true thing I read about KSI is that he's just a British version of King Batch. And I'm not disagreeing with that, because they set the black community back like 200 years with their coon behavior.
Dear Coon, on behalf of Dr. Umar Ifatunde Oguntade and the International Movement for the Independence and Protection of African People, you have hereby been excommunicated from the African race, and we have rebirthed you into the European power structure.
So that's all I'm going to say on this topic. KSI's career started with racially humiliating his own community, and over 10 years later, he's still doing the same thing, but to another community. I hope this was a wake-up call for him, and he's actually genuine to change and be educated for himself and not just for the cameras. For people who are going to mention how we're all being snowflakes, it's always important to remember you can still be funny and to have a dark humor without being racist. If you have to be racist to be funny, then you have no business opening your mouth. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and took something from it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!